first of my fall time get ready with me videos, and I'm very excited about this one. For cheeks, I have some brand new launches from two natural companies, Tata Harper and Gressa. And then for eyes, it's gonna be 100% Kat Von D shadows. This is gonna be how I incorporate red and orange, which I really like the look of those colors, but they easily make me look tired. So I've been playing around with these shadows for the past couple weeks, and I think I have found out how much color I can get away with. So just adding a little splash of color and then using some neutral colors to blend it out. So the eye look is a little bit more involved than normal, so I didn't film myself doing my foundation or concealer. Instead, I did exactly the same thing I did in my last Get Ready With Me. So if you wanna know what products I used, I will have that linked at the end of this video and down below, but I'm gonna go ahead and start out with cheek products. I'm gonna do a little bit of contouring, and for that, I have a new product from Tata Harper. It's a duo of cream highlighting and contouring products. The highlighter is called Very Illuminating and the contour is called Very Bronzing. So I'm gonna start off, and this is what the product looks like in this little green pot. I'm gonna use the Real Techniques, this is the sculpting brush, and I'm gonna dip it right into the product and pick up some of the color. When I'm doing this, I like to tilt my head to the side and kind of move my lips over a little bit just so I can see my cheekbone more easily. And then I start at the top of my ear with the product and work down not too far and then start to blend it up. And I like this product because while it does help give a little bit of definition to my cheekbones, it's also acting as my bronzer. So I like to pull it up a little bit higher than normal. The other product launch I'm really excited about is from Gressa, and they call these Lumiere, and it is a luminous complexion fluid. There's two colors, one a little bit more red pink and one more orange. I'm gonna use the shade Elise, which is the more red. So what I like to do is just apply a tiny bit to the back of my hand at first. So I'm gonna shear it out, and then with the finger that I use to shear it out, I'm just going to tap it onto my cheeks, kind of keeping this toward the back. So now that I have all the color, I'm gonna go back to the Tata Harper and add a little bit of highlighter. And I've taken the same e.l.f. stipple brush and just cleaned it off on the back of my hand. And again, I'm gonna dip right into the product and then apply it to the top of my cheekbones and just a tiny bit above my eyebrow as well. Now that I've added a little bit of color and glow to my cheeks, I'm gonna start in on my eyes, which I'm very excited about. So I'm gonna move in just a little bit closer. So I mentioned the only eyeshadows I'm gonna use today are from Kat Von D, and the main ones are from the Metal Crush line, which are single shadows, really metallic, and I showed those in my fall favorites tag. But before I get started with those, I went in with my NARS Pro Prime eyeshadow base, and I applied that all over, and I set it with a matte cream color from the Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye palette. And that's really gonna help set the NARS in place, but then whatever colors I put on top are gonna blend a little bit easier. So I have my Furless ME2, which is an angled liner brush, and I have this loaded with just a little bit of Dose from Kat Von D. And this is the more metallic orange color, and I'm gonna apply this just to the outside corner of my lower lash line. Now I have my Old Faithful MAC 235 brush, which is a great flat shader, and I have some of Raw Power, which is a deep metallic burgundy. It's a gorgeous shade, but I've come to realize if I apply too much, I can look very sleepy very quickly. So I'm gonna start by just applying a tiny bit to the outer 1/3 part of my eye, and I'm gonna do this and kind of, go slowly. And if I wanna build up color, great, and then I can reassess as I go on with the look, but I don't wanna apply too much right in the beginning. Okay, don't be alarmed, but I'm gonna leave Raw Power unblended for just a second, and I'm gonna go back to the Shade and Light Eye palette. This time taking a fluffier brush into the peach color, and I'm gonna gently run this in my upper crease, making sure I'm not getting a lot of Raw Power. I don't wanna pick any of that color up right now. I wanna keep my upper crease very clean and just have a little bit of this peachy haze. Using the same exact fluffy brush, now I'm gonna dip into the brick red color from the palette. This I'm gonna use in my lower crease, and now I'm gonna start picking up some of that Raw Power and start to help blend that out. I'm really trying to keep this low because if I bring it up too high, it starts to get very dramatic very quickly. Out of all these shadows I own, by far my favorite is Thunderstruck. This is the prettiest all over lid color. And I'm gonna load this brush up with Thunderstruck and press it all over my lid. And this is gonna add so much light. It's so pretty and it catches the light so nicely throughout the day. And since my outside corners are a little bit darker, I really like adding some light into the inner corner. This next step is my favorite part of the look, and I really hope it translates well on camera because it is so pretty in person. So still using the same MAC brush, I've gone back into Dose, which is the orange color I used in the outside corner of my lower lash line, and this is what I'm going to use to marry Raw Power and Thunderstruck together. So I'm going to start by tapping it right in the middle of the two shades, and using very light pressure, I'm going to gently pat into both, and that is going to help start to blend them together. I really like to take my time here. I think the more more blended it is, the prettier it looks. So moving on from the 239 brush, now I have the 221. This is a much smaller, I use this for more detailed work in the crease, and I'm taking just a hint of a deep brown. And this I'm gonna use to darken this outside corner and kind of do a little bit of a V shape. This tiny little bit of brown shadow really helps add some dimension, but it can also cover up the burgundy shade. So after I'm done with this, then I'll decide if I wanna add a little bit more of raw power in. To finish up, I used the Tarte Amazonian Clay waterproof liner in the shade brown, which is very deep and very dark, and I used that with the Furless ME4 brush. And this is a wonderful pointed liner brush. It's really easy to create a clean line. I went a little bit thicker this time, and I winged it up just a tiny bit at the ends. And then I curled my eyelashes and applied 2 coats of the Stila. This is their huge extreme lash mascara. So that is it for eyes. For lips, I already have on a little bit of MAC's Soar lip liner, and I line my lips and fill them in just a little bit. And then to top it off, I'm gonna use, this is one of my favorite GRWM products, and it's a newer product I ordered just maybe a month ago, and I've been wearing it nonstop. This is their Lip Boost in the shade Regal. And I think this pairs so beautifully with the eyes, and I normally just apply this right with my fingers. This is the completed look, and I know the eyes were a little bit more involved than I normally go, but I really like how it turned out, and I think it's kind of glamorous, a little bit of a glamorous fall time look. I think my next one, I'll be focusing on some Alima Pure products, because I had posted a picture on Instagram. They had repackaged and released a new product, and a lot of you seemed interested in reviews and a look with that. So that'll be my next Get Ready With Me video. But thank you very much for watching today. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you again very soon.